Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. We've got two events today, so relatively quick meeting. We will start per usual with introductions around the room and a couple of reminders. I'm Maria Wake from the Office of Community Engagement here at the City of Boise. We are live streaming, so mind your P's and Q's. We'll ask event organizers to just quickly go through the event, different pieces that folks around the room will be interested in: road closures, routes, recycling, health considerations, fire and police, and then we'll ask around to questions to get where we need to go. But starting with ACHD, we'll go around the table and then go to folks who are online for introductions.
John Watson, ACHD.
Debbie White, ACHD.
Ed Graves, Public Works.
Natasha Fernie, Central District Health.
Sydney Murphy, Risk and Safety.
Sierra Padilla Hewitt, Downtown Boise Association.
Summer Altieri, Boise Parks and Rec.
Jesse Tapper, Boise Fire.
Joe Deflin, Boise Fire.
Jeff Nia, Boise Police.
Matthew Konvalinka, Boise Police.
Taylor Gomez, Police Events Admin.
Steve Walker, State of Idaho.
Kelly Frank, the City Clerk's Office.
Maria, that's Captain Jeff Knight.
I heard that is Captain Jeff Nia. Congratulations. Couldn't go to a better candidate. All right, Cameo, I see your face, so why don't you go first?
Cameo, Econ State County Paramedics.
And Leslie.
Leslie Pedroza, Valley Regional Transit.
Thank you. And a big welcome to Sierra from Downtown Boise Association. All right, first up, Mila, Graney's Winter Ale Fest. Used to be, I believe, Pray for Snow. I like the name change. I never pray for snow. Fair.
Oh, hello. Oh, great. Okay, you have it up there. Well, I'm Mila Perry. I worked for Jason Kovac for a very long time at Graney's and Birch and Whiskey Bar. And then I sell real estate in real life. So now I just do a couple of his events every year. So a few of you I've presented to before, a few other ones know me from the kind of popular event at Hayden Beverage, which some of the neighborhoods were not happy about. But it was a success. So Pray for Snow, this is our 8th year, I think. So we changed it to Tom Graney's Winter Ale Fest. We took the last 2 COVID years off. This year we're thinking, I don't know, historically there's been about 2,500 people. The whole thing has always been to celebrate winter, local vendors, local breweries, Northwest breweries. We're switching it up with BSU having an away game this year. The day we're doing it, we're going to have a big TV wall with the game on. I think they play at 5 against Wyoming. Portions of the proceeds are going to go to the Women Children's Alliance. It's been a cause that's been very important to us. The original event planner for Pray for Snow for the first 4 years, Cassidy Kay, tragically passed away this summer. And so it was a cause very near and dear to her heart. So I've been working with them, and we're definitely going to hook up with them, and they're going to have a booth, and there might be a presentation of some sort. Cupid's Undie Run will also be there, and Tom Graney's is their main hub for their run that they do in February. So definitely 2 nonprofits that we love to work with. Right now we're planning about 40 plus breweries, 3 food trucks, the Shed, which Jason also owns, to have a food booth. And then local vendors. I think we did have to move our location since it used to be in the Republic parking lot, which is now a building. So we're going to take over Grove Street between 5th and 6th, and then the parking lot's across the street from the Bass Center. It's an all ages event. We've hired security. As always, we'll hire security outsourced, and then also some of Kovac's door guys. Everybody will be wristbanded, ID'd, all of that. We are going to put a bar outside this year, but it's for purchase. In the past, we've had a lot of people be like, I want to come, but I don't drink beer. So we are going to try to represent Graney's Birch and Whiskey Bar outside. Like I've tasked their managers to create their bars outside. So it'll each only have like 2 or 3 drinks for purchase only. It has nothing to do with the brewery taster cups, like for the beer. Bartenders, I've asked all the breweries for all of their volunteers to be tips, to have at least one tips trained person there, as well as Kovac staff that will be working the bars. So that will be there. There'll be garbage and recycling throughout. We'll order extra dumpsters either through Birch and Graney's. There will be music on all day. And then where the TV wall is, we'll have the BSU game on sound. We'll order their catering through Graney's. A road closure will be around 7 a.m, according to Northwest Traffic Control. We'll start setting up. Walter with the Diamond Parking has been awesome to work with. Trying to think of anything else that I forgot to put on there. I'm working with, in the past I've done, one of my best friends is a nurse, is an ICU nurse at St. Luke's. So she usually comes and works events for me as my on-site person. I just need to see if she's in town since it's the week before Thanksgiving. But we just, took COVID off and we wanted to change it up, change the name. We used to do the Rail Jam. It kind of lost its luster after the last few years. So we decided to open it up. I'm actually going to walk around Saturday market and try to get different vendors. Like everything before has always been very snow related and winter related. And now we're going to open it up to everybody. You want to come and sell your shirts or jewelry or honey or just try whatever. Try to focus on everything local in Idaho and Boise. So.
Great. Thank you. ACHD.
We have the event request. Debbie's working on it. We are in the process of making some changes to our policy. Those changes are going to include penalties for temporary traffic control that is not picked up. And that's going to be on the event organizer.
Okay.
Now, we don't have those in place yet, but we want the traffic control removed from the street so that it's done at the end of the event. And it has to be removed. Everything has to be gone, not off the street, not into a lot, gone.
Okay.
Before 7 a.m. the next working day.
Okay.
Any problem with that?
No, our event's on Saturday, so it needs to be gone by Monday.
Monday morning,
Okay.
7 o'clock.
Yeah,
gotta be gone.
And opened up that night.
We'll
Yeah.
open up so the event's from 3 to 9. The street will be completely open that night. All of that will be gone. Walter said that we could come and have until noon the next day to open up the parking lot on Sunday, because some of the big tents and stuff like that, but I don't see it being a problem.
Okay.
But I will talk to Cody at Northwest Traffic to make sure he picks up his stuff.
Thank you very much.
Ed, are you also going to channel Conrad today?
I'll do my best to channel him. Yeah.
It's a tough job.
I know it's a really tough one. The taster cups, so is that what people will be getting the beer from?
Yeah, so 5-ounce taster cups.
Okay.
And Jason ordered them. I don't know if they've come in yet. I'd have to look in the back of Graney's.
Okay. So yeah, we can work offline, get you set up with what you need. Did you have a chance to, or once you get all your vendors, that vendor low waste guide that's on the application, definitely electronically distribute that if you can, just to keep, any excess waste down. And then, do you need an extra dump or anything? This is Conrad.
Yeah, I need to talk to Jason of which bar he just wants me to order them from.
Okay.
Birch or Graney's, whichever is closest, or
Okay.
I don't actually even know where the great Birch ones are now that alley is different
Oh.
from when we
okay.
used to do it before.
Yeah.
So we'll order them from one of his bars, extra dumpsters and extra recycling.
Okay. Yep. I would just.
And in the
again-
back of Whiskey Bar, I've got, I don't know, I think like 15 of the big garbage cans,
Okay.
blue and black.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, yeah, I would just get that to.
Well,
Conrad once
allegedly,
you-
I did before COVID when I did this last, so I'll have to go look.
That's fine. Yeah, just let us know. But that sounds good. Just let Conrad know on the extra dump so he can get that
Yeah,
scheduled.
I'll get those ordered.
That's all I've got. Thank you.
Conrad did make it online, so he'll be in the mix too.
Okay.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good, how are
So
you?
we would need notification of event and that deadline, 30-day deadlines coming up.
Yep, I'll get it
So
this week.
as soon as, and did you finalize the vendor list? Do you know what food trucks are going to be participating?
I know two, well, I Coned and Rusty Dog are for sure. I have a message out to Sushi Shack. I'll call him again today. Just haven't heard back. And then I will fill out the application for Jason to do one from the shed, like a 10 by 10 pop-up. He wants to just do burgers and brisket chili from the
Sounds
shed.
good. So not the food trucks, but the shed would have to submit their application
Okay.
to us.
I'll send that in.
Thank you.
And we're all good on our end.
Okay.
Hi, Mila.
Hi there.
We've already been emailing, so we'll
Yep.
just work on that down the road. Thanks.
Yep.
Nothing from Parks.
Good morning.
Morning.
Couple things. I just got a question about on Grove Street,
Mhm.
where it says beer in the yellow on your map here.
Oh, yeah.
Those are all 10 by 10 tents, I
Yes.
assume. Okay.
On
Um,
both sides of the road.
Are some of them going to be on the grass
No,
on Grove? So they're all going to be in the
they'll
street?
all be in the street.
Okay. So I'm a little concerned about the room that you have there on Grove Street. We have a multi-story apartment complex right there, that brand new building there.
Mhm.
And so we're going to need a full lane on Grove Street all the way through
In the middle.
in the middle. So when you get tents on both sides, you only have about probably 38 to 40 feet to work with on Grove. So I need a full lane to get through Grove
Okay.
if we have an incident because of the high life hazard there. And then also we need to be cognizant of not blocking fire hydrants and fire department connections to the building where we stretch our hoses.
Yes.
So
And
just-
any of the entrances from the road that go into the parking lots where we will be using, there won't be tents in any front of those either. It's
Okay.
only going to be on the curbing.
okay, so just do your best to give me a full lane width all the way through
Okay.
because we'll make you do it when we do the inspection, but that's what I need for this to happen.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're going to need your special events permit, just like you did last time.
Yep.
So I don't know if you've applied for that already.
I think I did mine.
Okay, just make
I
sure you get
started
that
it.
in. And then you're going to have 3 food trucks.
Yep.
And I think you know this, but make sure they have their blue
Their
stickers,
inspections,
their
yeah.
fire department inspections, which is a total separate thing. Other than that, I have nothing else from fire prevention. Everything else looks pretty good. All your stuff is going to be contained in that parking lot across the street. Food trucks, vendors, bar. How big is your stage?
Well, that was actually a change that we walked the park. We're actually not having one now.
Okay.
We were going to have a DJ, but we were like, why hire a DJ for 2 hours when we're going to put the BSU game on? So we're just going to build a big TV wall. Well,
Okay.
the electronic people are. And then we're just going to do a playlist
Okay.
for music for the day. So I'll ask, but it's not like a big old stage. Like there's going to be some sort of platform for the TV wall, but
Okay. Perfect. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we had the same concern for operations was just keeping that Grove Street open so we can get an engine through there. Second, you might consider putting a Pulse Point app on your phone. So that will tell you if something
I have it.
happens and you're perfect.
Yep.
All right. That's all I got. Thank you. Good
Yep.
luck.
thank you. Sorry. Yeah. They had me do it last time.
She just cut you right off.
know.
I know.
Hi,
Sorry.
Mila.
Hey, how are you? Nice to
Good.
meet you in person.
Yes, good seeing you in person finally. Hey, just a couple follow-up questions on the map and then your alcohol provider. So we're going to talk alcohol here. So the brewery's doing the beer. Who's doing the hard liquor?
So Jason will buy everything from Granny's, all the kegs, and then supply the liquor. Everything will be done through Jason's catering permit from Granny's.
From Granny. So everything's
Yes.
going to run through Granny.
Everything runs through Granny's.
Okay. I was concerned about multiple vendors. And
Oh
all that
yeah,
kind
no,
of stuff,
everything will go through Granny's, and then the beer, they'll have volunteers to pour it and or our staff, but all alcohol purchase will come through Granny's.
but- Okay. All right. That was my biggest concern. Otherwise, everything from my end looks good.
Okay.
Yeah.
State has nothing.
No, perfect.
Yes. I made sure. I just need your food and vendor list when you get that updated. Appreciate you making it more of a local festival for various vendors and such. So just get that over to me and then I can send it on to the health department and the fire department too. So make sure it has their city eating and drinking mobile license numbers on it. And then, yeah, just if you could get an updated map showing the fire or emergency access lane, just modify that. So we all have an updated copy. That'd be great.
Okay.
And Vince from parking is online as well as Conrad.
Great, thank you. All right, we will go to our online folks. Conrad, would you like to go first?
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Maria, and I apologize for my tardiness. Mila, does the company Staytel sound familiar?
Yeah, isn't that Jason's landlord? Is that Clayton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where this is taking place?
Well, does he own Diamond Park? Does he own all that? I have no idea. I mean, he owns all the buildings Jason owns and has his bars in.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out which dumpsters you'd be using. I'm assuming that would be theirs. They have a compactor.
Because Jason, I mean, it'll either be the ones by the Birch or either the ones by Granny's.
Okay, yeah, the ones I'm thinking about are by Granny's.
Okay.
I'll have to double check to see where Birch falls, but they, let's just assume it's by Granny's right now, and they have a lot of service. I don't know how you're gonna fit more in there unless there's room for another container. They have a compactor that's picked up every day but Sunday, recycle 3 days a week, additional trash that goes Tuesday, Friday. So maybe you could, if you need to, schedule an extra for Saturday or Monday.
Okay.
And then a glass recycle container. So that's pretty much going to fill up the alley unless you do a site visit and also determine that you need more service. But if that's where we're located, I just need approval from them saying it's okay for this event to use those containers and whether or not there's going to be more service required.
Okay. And as far as the glass, the only glass that will even be out there will be with the bartenders, the liquor bottles that they're pouring from. Like everything will be poured in, plastic. So.
Great. Okay. Well, if there's room in there, please recycle.
Yep.
Great. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thanks, Conrad. Vince?
Hey, Mila, can you hear me?
I can.
Mila, thank you very much for reserving the meters that you needed on Grove. And the only thing that I have for you is if you could please make sure the traffic control stuff that is going to be used around Grove, just make sure that it clears out of the parking stalls on 6th as well as 5th and then on Grove too when you guys are done. Hopefully you guys are ending Saturday, let's say
at 9
midnight.
p.m. Yeah.
Okay, 9. Okay. So if it can get cleared out of there so folks can use those stalls again for Sunday, I'd appreciate that. But also thank you again for coming in and reserving the meters that you needed. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Cameo.
I don't think I have anything major. If you set up a first aid area, I would just mark that where it's at specifically. Usually it's put by information or your lost kids area. And then they already talked about Pulse Point. So I think we're good for medical.
Great, thank you. And Leslie?
Nothing from us.
Terrific. Kelly, no one else online?
No, I did want to just note that Jamie from the clerk's office is online too, but she didn't need anything.
Great, thanks. Thank you so much, Mila.
Thank you.
All right, are Keith and Kai online?
Keith is.
Yeah, I'm here. Kai is on his way. So but he'll be the person, but I'm here and I can run everything here.
Okay. Well, should we go ahead and get started?
Sure.
We'll let you start, and then when Kai gets here, we'll welcome him with open arms and applause. So the Turkey Day 5K, one of Boise's favorite races and a good way to build your appetite for Thanksgiving dinner.
Thank you. I sent our presentation in. Do you want me to pull that up on my screen and share my screen, or can you pull it up there?
Oh, it looks like
there we go. Excellent. So not sure who's controlling it, but we can just jump through screens and I can run through everything on this really quick. And I think we'll answer most of the questions. And then if I miss anything, we'll go back and cover those. So oh, there we go. So this is our 12th year. We are expecting 6,000 people this year. We had just over 7,000 people in 2019, but we're just seeing at all of our events, even now that we're after COVID, the numbers haven't bounced back fully. So I'm expecting 6,000 people. And because of the new course we're doing, I'm actually closing registration in Boise at 6,000 this year till we try out the new course to make sure we can accommodate everybody. And just past, last year, 2019, we had 2,000 pounds of food donated and $11,000 in total donations to the local charity groups from the event. We'll have 230 plus staff and volunteers working the event this year. We can jump on to the next slide. So our benefiting groups, this is the 12th year in a row we've done a benefiting the Rescue Mission and the Idaho Special Olympics and City Light. And then the other groups that come out with volunteers that we donate back to: Meridian High School's HOSA program, the Treasure Valley Math and Science Center, Boise Civil Air Patrol. This year we've got the Boise High School Junior ROTC program heavily involved with the event. And I think that is everybody. Going back, we try and supply everything for the race locally in Boise. We try not to buy anything out of market for the event. We jump on. So summary of volunteers. These are the volunteer groups we have on board already this year, and we've just about filled our 230 positions with the volunteers already. So we can just jump on. Communications, emergency plans. All of our staff have lanyards, little tags on them that have everybody's phone numbers, emergency numbers, and procedures are on those. Our primary source of communication to our cell phones, because they work great in that downtown area. And then our main staff, our aid station on course, we do have two-way radios that we tested. They work and cover the entire course. Injury care will have their paramedics on site again. I think they've done this for us 6 or 7 years in a row now. And then we'll have a command center set up with somebody managing any race communications. I did make a phone call to St. Luke's ER, just again, notified them of the event. And that is always our Lost Child tent is always where our registration is, where we do our packet pickup in the morning. That's where our staff is located. This is kind of the workflow schedule, has not changed at all in years. So at 6 o'clock on Wednesday evening, the night before Thanksgiving, that's when we close Capitol Boulevard from Main Street up to Bannock. And we have security arrives at 9 o'clock, and that's for our main setup. The tents go up, the bulk of our decorations. We stage everything for our early morning packet pickup the night before. Then we're back on site at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when all the balloon decorations start going up, any of the signs and banners, and last minute decorations start going up. At 5 a.m., we close Capitol down at Myrtle so that we can start closing Main Street for the start of the race. 6:45 till 8:15, we've got our food drop off for the Boise Rescue Mission, and our participant packet pickup continues at that time. And we've got race day registration. And then we also have event ambassadors that are going out and picking out our best costume winners during that time. 8:40, our announcements start. We start getting people lined up and staged for the start. We've got a pre-run warm-up at 8:45. At 8:56, Darian Renee will be singing our national anthem. 8:58, Boise Rescue Mission, Idaho Special Olympics will do quick introductions, and then we do our countdown to the start at 9 o'clock. 9:15, finish line announcements start, and that's when the first finishers will come in. And then our finish line, always we've got donut holes and cookies, hot chocolate and coffee, bottled water for Central District Health. I believe Goldie's already has their permit in for their coffee hot chocolate service for that. We do family photos, free photos for everybody. Yeah, and then we do our costume prizes, our race winner prizes, 9:45. By 10:15, last runners are always off the course, and that's when we start our cleanup. Even though we have 11:15 cleanup begins, we were usually starting by 10:15, 10:30. And I always put 1 o'clock all roads open, but every year I don't think we've gone past noon for having everything reopened. Next slide. This is just an overhead view where the start line is, where the finish line is. The only slight changes on this is the start line. I need to move 20 yards to the west on Main Street. So not quite midway through the City Hall building, but maybe at the very end of the tip of the green arrow. And then the finish line, I'm going to move down right at the corner, right at the crosswalk on the north side of Capitol, at where Idaho crosses. So it'll actually we'll move that red arch down to where it says finish. Just the new course is slightly shorter, and I needed just to move the start line back and move the finish line forward just to get us our 3.1 mile distance on the course. This is just an aerial view of the layout. Again, it's the same layout we've done every year. The tent sizes are all listed here. We're not using any propane heaters this year for the event. We did the same thing last year. And Event Rents will be doing all the tents. They'll file the permits with fire department for the tents. Can you go back one? So just for 80 chiropractics, you can see where the ambulance is on Idaho at the corner of Capitol and Idaho. That's where we always station the ambulance crew so they can get in and out and access any parts of the course that we need to. Just wanted to make sure I pointed that one out while we're on that slide. This is a street level view looking at there on the left of pictures. That's where we do our family and friends photo booth. The morning check-in tent, which is our 10 by 30, is up in front of City Hall. We're not doing a stage this year because Darian Renee is performing solo. It'd just be a 10 by 10 tent cover for her. The food tent is that 10 by 30 tent that spans the road, and we have our tables across there. So as runners finish, they are going through the tent from north to south into the Finish Festival area. That's just a promo shot of our start line. So this is the new course map for this year. We are keeping everything south of State Street. And I think this opens everything up. So there's an easy flow around the entire event course. So again, we're starting at Main and 6th, going down to 2nd up to Jefferson this time. And you can see where mile marker 1 is at 6th and Jefferson. So that whole first mile of the course should be cleared and reopened. All traffic signs should be down by 9:30 on Thanksgiving morning. And then Jefferson up to the Capitol building by 9:45. So that whole eastern half of the course will be wide open, traffic flowing back to normal, other than our Finish Line Festival on Capitol will be open and clear for traffic movement. And then the western part, we've used Jefferson in the past, but the new extension from 16th out to 19th, dropping down to Idaho, and then back up 16th for the return on Jefferson. This will be new. So we're going to place yard signs out just a week before, letting people know the event's taking place, expect some minor traffic delays. But again, by mile 2, our first runners will be there by 9:08 or sooner. Our last runners should be past that point by 9:40. And that last whole square around Bannock between 16th and 19th, and figuring our first runners will hit that square area by 9:05 and between 9:05 and 9:10. The last ones will be out of there by 9:40. So we're looking at 40 minutes of any traffic delays, traffic diversions in that area for that small square area. And then they're back on Jefferson for the return trip in. I just put this in as a reminder because we've had problems with our traffic control, remembering to close 6th Street for our start line. So that is just dropped in there. It makes me remind the traffic company. So that was a reminder for me. Yeah. This Sergeant Konvalinka, I will send this to you. I went through this. Cody South and I from Northwest Traffic Services, we drove the course together. We looked at every intersection, and where I've got V's marked is where we felt comfortable having our volunteers at. Where we have the F is where we felt we needed a certified flagger. And if it's marked with a BPD, we would like Boise Police there at those particular intersections. But if you see any changes, if you see an intersection where you feel like you would be more comfortable having us have a certified flagger or one of your officers, just let us know. Happy to make that change. So on this, we've got, I'm requesting 8 Boise police officers for the event. REACT has committed 16 volunteers for us, and we like to pair them up with our volunteers. So if we've got young kids, we actually have a REACT person with them. The Civil Air Patrol and the Boise JOR ROTC, they'll be out. Those groups work great, and they're assertive enough. They're great on traffic. That's why I really try and fill in as many of our intersections with those guys. And then there's another 30 spots where we'll have volunteers around the course. But we've already talked with parking about the parking meters we need for Main Street and Capitol Boulevard for the day before. Again, for Boise Fire, this is a list of the tents that we'll have on site. We will have 40 portable toilets on site. 4 of those we normally locate on the old course we had up at the Boise High School out in front on 4th Street. Now we're going to put them on the north side on Jefferson at Cecil Andrus Park for people on the course. And then the other 36 will be at the start finish area at the corner of Capitol and Main Street along the Egyptian Theater, where we always have those. 4 hand wash stations. Again, we always do just prepackaged foods, donuts and cookies, and then bottled water. The only fresh food that's served is the coffee and hot chocolate that we get from Goldie's Corner. And then we still keep, at all our events, we still have bottles of hand sanitizer at every food service table, all the coffee tables. And then this is the exact same food layout we've used every year. So this is that 10 by 30 tent that spans Main Street. It just shows the red rectangles are the tables that have the food on them. Participants just funnel through those and they go get their coffee, hot chocolate, and that's manned by Goldie's. And then they're into the Finish Festival area. We still, and it's part of our USA track and field sanctioning, we still are mandated to have some COVID protocols in place for our event. So we've got the extra hand sanitizing stations. We'll have hand sanitizer at every table. We still offer a virtual run because we do have a number of participants that still want to run virtually. On here, and then separate from the COVID protocols, the neighborhood notification, Kai submitted that, I believe Kelly to you yesterday. The signatures we have on there, those are the businesses that are going to be open on Thanksgiving morning. And they open specifically because we have the Turkey Day race and the number of people it brings down to town. The rest of the businesses we visited are all closed on Thanksgiving morning. Trash recycling. We have 40 trash and recycling boxes throughout the Finish Festival. The Boise High School's ROTC program, their cadets are going to be our green team this year, emptying those out. We will have 15 boxes at our aid station. That's going to be, again, there at Cecil Andrus Park where the porta potties are. We have our own trash boxes that we use. And again, we've reached out to Capital City Development and the building's owner to use the dumpster on the bottom floor of the Capitol Terrace garage. That we've done all 11 years leading up to this. So we're just continuing that practice. The paper, the waste we generate, paper cups, napkins, plastic bottles, and then corrugated and shrink wrap. And then again, Kai has reached out to Capital City Development on the garage. We closed the exit onto Capitol when we shut down Capitol at 6 o'clock. We put signs up and we direct the cars to exit out of the entrance onto Idaho. And you can flip over to the next side. And then, back one. And then on Idaho, we have a sign, and actually Capital City Development, I guess they've done this frequently. They have a nice sign that they now put out there that says exit only and directs people to enter the garage on Main Street. So that goes up. The insurance certificates for the city, for Ada County Highway District, those have been paid for, they're bought. We do this, go through this every single year. USA Track and Field renews their insurance policy on November 1st every year. So we're always that first event. We have to wait for them to get their policy renewed. And then we get the insurance certificates a few days after. So I think it's every year around the 4th or 5th of November, we receive our insurance certificates, and I will just forward those on to you. But I just included this to show that they have been applied for and paid for. So we'll expect those actual certificates in hand November 4th or 5th. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Keith. That was super comprehensive. And welcome back, Kai. It's good to see you. I'll let the two of you tag team whoever answers questions. John, we'll start with you.
Keith, nice to have you back. This is always a great, well-run event. So we appreciate that. We also appreciate you changing the traffic control based upon input from Boise Police to keep that south of Fort Street. Hopefully that'll make traffic in the area flow a little bit better. I would ask that you reach out to the churches. Yeah, they may not be directly in the impact area, and make sure your volunteers know how to tell people how to get to church. Because we have gotten some concerns in the past, and Keith has addressed those really, really well. And the final thing I want to say is we should not have minors out in the road assisting with temporary traffic control. They can do all sorts of other jobs. We should not have children in the roadway.
One other question is, are we going to be restricting any of the sidewalks, whether it's with restrooms, booths, anything like that? Will all sidewalks remain open?
No, we kept all the porta potties. We usually keep all the porta potties on Capitol Street moving forward on the street. And they usually, Keith, remind me on this one, but they usually run on the side of the Egyptian Theater all the way down.
Yeah, there's a loading and unloading zone on the Egyptian Theater.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome back. Yeah, just a quick question. So you have your own trash boxes, then will you need the recycling bins from me?
Yeah, we have designated trash boxes, designated recycling bins.
Okay. Okay. Do you need any signs to help designate, recycling versus trash? I can email some signs if you want to print them out.
Always welcome, because we like to tape extra recycling signs on the recycling boxes. People unfortunately tend to ignore them and dump everything in whatever trash box is handiest, but we will gladly add those to what we have.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And then, yeah, I've never had a complaint. So, I mean, I figure y'all are doing a great job. So if you need anything, just let me know. Thank you.
Good morning, Keith. Good morning, Kay. This is Natasha with Central District Health. Thank you so much for doing such a thorough job. Nothing from me.
We're good. We'll just be on the lookout for the insurance.
Yep.
Hi, guys. So it sounds like you already got that neighbor notification uploaded. I'll take a look and make sure it's all good. Thanks.
Nothing from Parks.
Keith, nothing from a fire prevention standpoint. Everything looks like it's pretty much identical to last time, so we're good to go.
Thank you.
As far as operations goes, again, oh, it just slipped my mind. I've been up all night. Pulse Point, thank you. And then the other one is going to be, there's a new app. It's called What 3 Words, since your footprint is quite large. And what it does when you call in, it'll get it down to a 10 by 10 square. And so if you have somebody in your event area where you're finishing and you get some calls on that, it'll tell you exactly where they are and can pinpoint them. Or if you have volunteers that get a little panicky and can't read the sign, it'll pinpoint their phone and tell them exactly. So I'd recommend you download that one. Dispatch is aware of it and they can help you with that.
That'll be awesome. Thanks.
Keith, it's Matt with BPD. I'd just like to thank you for moving your event footprint south of state. That makes it much easier for us. It sounds like you've addressed all the problems that we had with it last year. I did get your Excel spreadsheet with the locations that you wanted BPD. I might give you a call later about that offline. I think there shouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay. Just know we'll always defer to your judgment on that. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So I think Debbie asked most of my questions, just no closures of sidewalks that would impede on the Capitol property. Is there anything that can be placed on Capitol property? So, I know Cecil Andrews Park is really close, but it sounds like everything's staying on that side. Just want to see if anything's hitting the state.
We have used in the past, or at least this last year, we had the golf carts that came up onto property. I don't know if that was a hindrance at all, but that's usually what kind of goes on to that. But we can find a new house spot if we need to for that.
I have no issues with that. Thank you.
Hello. Nice to see you back. Just a couple things. I'm sure if you haven't heard from Rachel, she'll probably reach out, but just a reminder from her aspect and in general, with the amount of restaurants and stuff downtown, even though it is Thanksgiving, a lot of them are still open for dining or takeout, carry out. So we just want to be mindful of that. And then just the amount of residents that are downtown now. You guys obviously were down there last year, so not a huge change from before COVID. And then just another thing that we need to be mindful of, John had mentioned the traffic control products being picked up by a certain time frame. And we mean like picked up, not moved off the street, not moved into the grass, things of that sort. But then also with the runners, this is a shorter course, but just to get the roads opened up sooner. If you guys do have people kind of scraggling, just let us know what your plan is for that, or be mindful of that. And then when Rachel does her safety and security meeting, you can go over that in more detail.
Yep. So we do have a 90-minute cap on the run. So everybody has to be off the course by 10:30. And something we've always had in place, but we've never had anybody out come in later than 10. So we'll stick with that. And then last year was the first year I finally was able to get Northwest Traffic Control to come out with their truck and follow the last runner. And they literally cleaned up all the traffic signs off the course as the last runner went around. The only thing they had to come back the next day for was the signs that we had closing Capitol Boulevard for our Finish Festival, because they had left the site by that time. And those we pull off the road, but they come back and get those the next morning.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. I know that a lot of the traffic control companies have had issues with just staffing and shortages like the rest of us. So we're just kindly reminding everyone that needs to take place, so John doesn't get after everyone.
Conrad.
Hi, good to see you again, Keith. And I'm familiar with the trash plan from previous years, but things change year to year. So if I can get you to renew that written permission from the building and owner or management staff that they are allowing you to use the dumpsters there at the Capitol Terrace Garage, that would be great. And that's all I have. So thank you.
Thanks, Conrad. Vince.
Hi, Keith. I think that we're set in parking. We have the signs available for you. So just contact me a couple of days before the event and I will make those available to you up at our front counter. And so we're set to go.
Perfect. Thanks, Vince.
Thank you.
Cameo.
Nothing from medical, Keith. It all looks good. Thank you.
Thanks, Cameo.
And Leslie.
I just have one question. The closure on Wednesday night on Capitol, will that affect the intersection at Idaho and Capitol, or will that remain open?
No, Idaho and Capitol always remains open. The only thing we set up on the north side of north of Capitol is we have just the barricade fencing, and it just takes up the center lane. So there's always cars still parked at the restaurants, the Boise Fried Company there. Those aren't affected. But we just set up our finish line shoot the night before.
Okay, no issues from us then.
Idaho remains totally open.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to it again this year. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
All right, a couple events pending approvals. Light the Night, which is this weekend. Looks like as of Friday, we were pending approvals from Boise Public Works.
I can sign off today.
Right. Central District Health.
Good on both.
Okay. DBA. Sarah, have you been able to sign off?
Signed off.
And Ada County Paramedics.
I signed off this morning.
Terrific. And then for Boise Brewing Hoptober, it's difficult to say. Sydney Risk Management.
I signed off this morning.
Great. Public Works.
I will sign off today.
Thank you. Republic Services.
I have signed off and left a note, asterisk, you could say, but I'm signed off.
Cool. ACHD.
Yeah, we're good with it. John will sign off.
Great. Thank you. And then please remember your after action events. And I can't read that reminder. Kelly, is it an important reminder to read? Please submit updates to your agency department pages of the clerk's special event permit application to special events at cityofboise.org.
I emailed everyone last week a copy of their page out of the application. So if they needed any updates to information, contacts, verbiage, whatever,
Cool.
so we can get 2023 going.
So the reminder is actually, if you get an email from Kelly requesting something, please do it promptly.
Yes.
That's the actual reminder.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
Bye.
So